The newest design in my wallpaper collection, called Zhora, owes its inspiration to Japan, but at first glance, you might not see it. The interwoven vine motif in this design is drawn from a set of flatware produced by Liberty of London around the turn of the last century. The Tudric style, seen here, harkened back to Celtic motifs and was specific to British Art Nouveau. The mock Tudor style that Liberty also chose for its Regent Street emporium derived from nostalgia for supposedly simpler times when life seemed more wholesome, familiar, and perhaps comforting. The early 1900s were a time of rapid change and globalization, however, not unlike our own. The Industrial Revolution was getting into full swing and international trade was reaching a new peak. But at the same time that artists and designers were digging in the history books, there was a strong wind blowing from the east. And from Japan in particular. In fact, Arthur Liberty and his store Liberty of London was one of the first purveyors of Japanese household goods to a Western market. In addition to paper fans, lacquered boxes, and semi-precious porcelains, Liberty was also importing woodblock prints, or ukiyo-e. In Japan, ukiyo-e were often cheap posters portraying kabuki performers or fashion-conscious geisha. In fact, the Paris gallery owner Siegfried Bing first encountered them as packing material in a shipment of porcelain he received from Japan. They caught his eye, however, and soon captured the imagination of artists like Vincent, Gauguin, and Toulouse-Lautrec. The trend was named Japonisme and gave birth to Art Nouveau. What revolutionized Western art and left its mark in the form of Art Nouveau was the startling naturalism and freedom with which Japanese artists translated nature. Late Victorians began to realize that nature no longer had to be tamed, rather, it had to be unleashed. My design for the Zhora wallpaper strives to capture that corseted mentality with its reassuring structuralism, and at the same time suggest the forces of nature and the id breaking free. There's a classical beauty to the overall pattern, but the silhouette of the flower is reminiscent of a Venus flytrap, and the pointy tendrils reaching outward could have a slightly menacing grasp. And so, though this pattern may at first glance look like an Art Nouveau table setting, its lineage can be traced back to Japan. Now, after 18 years of visits and lessons and research, what I find sustaining and inspiring about Japan is its confluence with other cultures and the often unexpected results. So I invite you to learn the stories behind the many beautiful designs for wallpaper, fabrics, and rugs, to name a few, that we choose to surround ourselves with. At the end of the day, it's not important whether the work references Japan, but whether it has any resonance at all. Because, as I learned from the Japanese, it's not about whether it's art or design or craft. What matters most is that it brings beauty and meaning to our living environments and our daily lives. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy.